The villagers of Zamani had never seen a girl disappear into thin air, let alone at the royal palace on the prince's birthday, leaving behind only a beaded slipper and a trail of magic dust. But then again, no one had ever met Nia before. Deep in the heart of Zamani, a land where the sun painted the earth gold and the winds sang lullabies, there stood a sacred baobab tree, so massive its roots were said to touch the underworld. The tree was older than the kingdom itself, and it guarded the secrets of the land. Zamani was a place where stories lived in the soil and dreams grew like mangoes on trees. In this magical land lived a girl named Nia. Her skin was the color of roasted shea, her hair coiled like young tendrils of vines, and her eyes held a fire no one dared to see. Nia wasn't like the others in the village. She didn't belong. Her mother had died when she was born, and her father, a traveling griot, disappeared soon after. She was left in the care of her stepmother, Madame Ireti, and her two daughters, Bolu and Asha. They treated Nia worse than a goat. She cooked, cleaned, fetched water from the stream, and never complained. But when she was alone, Nia spoke to the trees, and the trees spoke back. One day, they will all see. The trees would whisper, "You are more than what they think." One hot afternoon, the village square buzzed with excitement. A royal guard beat his drum and shouted, "By order of His Highness Prince Dami, all maidens of Zamani are invited to the palace for the royal ball this full moon. The prince shall choose his future queen." Madame Ireti squealed with joy. "My Bolu will dazzle him, and Asha will charm his crown off." Nia smiled quietly. She had never dreamed of being queen, but oh, how she longed to see the palace, if only for one night. That night, Nia stood beneath the oldest baobab tree. "I just want to go. Just once," she whispered. A breeze picked up. The branches rustled. Then came a voice, ancient and warm. "Then go, child of flame. But know this, the truth you seek is not what you expect." From the roots of the tree, a woman rose cloaked in vines and gold dust. The tree spirit. In her hand, she held a wrapper woven with moonlight, a pair of beaded slippers that shimmered like stars, and earrings shaped like suns. Be home by the last gong of midnight, or what is hidden will be revealed. Nia bowed. "Thank you, mother." The palace shimmered like the Milky Way. Girls in fine wrappers and gel lined the halls, but when Nia walked in, the drum stopped. The prince, mid-sip of palm wine, stared at her like she had dropped from the moon. Who is she?" he asked. Nia said nothing. She only smiled. She danced like wind on water. She laughed like the morning birds. And for the first time, Prince Dami forgot he was a prince. "Dance with me," he whispered. And they did, until the first gong of midnight. Dong, dong, dong. Nia's heart pounded. She fled down the palace steps, losing one slipper in the rush. As the last gong echoed, her dress turned back to rags. Her earrings vanished. And her ride, a giant grey parrot, squawked and turned into feathers. But the prince found the slipper. "I must find her," he vowed. Days passed. Every girl tried the slipper. None fit. The prince looked thinner. He traveled village to village until he arrived at Zamani. Madame Ireti hid Nia in a gold shed. Bolu and Asha each claimed they were the girl. "Let her try," the prince said, pointing to the girl with ashes on her face. The slipper slid on like a dream. As Nia stood, something strange happened. Her eyes glowed, her arms sparkled, and suddenly, from behind her, the tree spirit appeared. "You are the daughter of a griot and a sky maiden," she said. "Your father sang the stars into shape. Your mother came down from the clouds. They hid you to protect you, but now your time has come." Gasps filled the air. The trees around the palace bowed. Just as Prince Dami stepped forward to take Nia's hand, the tree spirit raised her palm. The palace ground rumbled. "She cannot be queen by your side," the tree spirit said, voice echoing through the skies. "Because she is not here to marry a prince. She is here to awaken the forgotten magic of Zamani." Nia blinked. "What do you mean?" From the crowd, an old elder gasped and dropped to his knees. "She carries the mark of the flame bearer." The ground split open slightly. A glowing, ancient staff floated into the air and landed in Nia's hands. "You are the last of the flame keepers," the tree spirit said. "Your power is not meant for a palace but to restore balance to the land, to return what was lost." The beaded slipper was never just a shoe. It was the key, a relic, a trigger to awaken her destiny. The villagers, stunned, began to chant her name. Prince Dami bowed. "I was never meant to be king, you were." Nia closed her eyes, feeling the fire awaken inside her. The trees around the palace grew taller, the skies brightened, a drought ended instantly. Her stepmother and stepsisters fell to their knees, not out of fear, but awe. Nia does not become queen by marriage. She becomes queen by birthright. She chooses a council made up of farmers, healers, storytellers, and children, not just nobles. She rebuilds Zamani with justice, magic, and song. As for the prince, he becomes her closest advisor and friend, because sometimes magic doesn't lead to a wedding. It leads to a revolution. She wore no crown, she carried a flame, and the kingdom of Zamani finally remembered what it meant to burn with truth. Nia, the flame keeper, the queen reborn,